Hey everybody, it's Flatbread Friday, and I was trying to decide what kind of flatbread I was going to make this week. And I came across this meat, and it said, great for fajitas. So we're going to have a beef fajita flatbread. It's going to be good. Let's do it. The first thing we're going to do is season our beef with some salt and pepper, some smoked paprika, some cumin, and some cilantro. We're gonna toss them around, make sure they're evenly seasoned. And I've got a skillet on the stove, heating up some olive oil, and we're gonna sear these. We're not gonna cook them all the way through, but I wanna sear in the juices. So here we have our seasoned beef. Our oil is shimmery, and now in goes our steak. Just a couple of minutes. That was a lot of work flipping over these tiny little pieces of meat. But now it is time to lower the heat to medium and remove the beef from the pan. Now it's time for our peppers and onions. Onions first. Then peppers, any color you want. I like a mix. Some little more seasonings for these vegetables. Salt and pepper. Some garlic powder. A little pinch of red pepper flake. Saute these up so they're crisp tender. And then we're going to build our flatbread. We laid out our flatbread on a baking sheet lined with parchment. And now we're going to make our base. Our base is going to start with a little bit of tomato sauce, not too much. I was going to just use salsa, but the fresh salsa that I have is really super juicy. So this will tone it up a little bit so it's not too liquidy. As you can see, it's really juicy, but we'll try to drain out as much of the liquid as we can. Oops, a little leakage. Okay, that ought to do it. Stir this around. Drip it out of the bowl. That seems like a pretty good consistency for our base. This flatbread crust is a little too wide for our sheet pan, but I'm not going to trim the edges. And on goes our sauce. Our salsa. We're going to spread it all around, out to the edges. Our salsa sauce is on, nicely distributed. And next comes our steak. I don't want it to dry out too much, so distribute that all over the place. Our steak is on. Looking good, smelling good. Now we're gonna do a little bit of a layer of mozzarella cheese. I know this is not very Southwestern, but it's melty and good on a pizza. So since we're making a flatbread fajita, not a fajita, that's what we're doing. Okay, I think that'll be plenty. Now it's time for our sauteed peppers and onions. They're still a little bit hot, but I think we could probably figure it out. Distribute these nice and evenly around. Our peppers and onions are on. Colorful, looking good. And one more step before we go in the oven. I'm gonna finish this off with some shredded cheddar because that's what they use with fajitas, is cheddar or pepper jack. It's the only pepper jack I have in my refrigerator is sliced, so we're just gonna use the cheddar. Oopsie. Okay, that's good. And our last step is just a little sprinkle of a little more cilantro for some additional color. Oh, the doggies in the neighborhood are barking, so Kelly might be joining them. Okay, here is our beef fajita flatbread ready to go in the oven, and we're going to cook it for about 20 minutes or so, and then we're going to slice it and serve it. Our beef fajita flatbread is out of the oven, colorful, cheesy, crispy, and now we're going to slice it and serve it. Here we have our beef fajita flatbread on my favorite Mexican plate. And next thing we're gonna do is, I had some crema in my refrigerator. Sorry we didn't make it on the video, but it's made with mayonnaise, sour cream, lime juice, cilantro, and I strained some of the salsa liquid off of our watery salsa to thin it out a little bit and flavorize it a little bit. Mix that together. This is going to be our creamy drizzle for our beef fajita flatbread. It's going to be tasty. Whoops, that was a pretty big dollop right there. Oh well, it'll be good. Here we have it, super yummy, and it's going to make a great flatbread Friday dinner. Thank you for joining me for this week's version of Flatbread Friday. Here's our beef fajita flatbread, and it's going to be delicious, and I can't wait. Thank you for joining me. That was so yummy, and I haven't had a fajita in ages, and that's kind of what it tasted like. So we will see you again soon. Happy Flatbread Friday.